Reid or Bill Belichick, which coach is better? This has been a popular debate going around all on social media, and I think that people are not being fair in this debate. What makes no sense to me is people saying, man, Andy Reid's better because before he had an all-time great quarterback, he was winning games, and who is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? And I can understand that, but if you're going to say that, and you're going to say, who is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? Who is Tom Coughlin without Eli Manning? Who is Sean Payton without Drew Brees? Who is Mike Tomlin without Ben Roethlisberger? Some of the greatest quarterbacks that ever coach in the NFL have had great quarterbacks. And a lot of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the league have had great head coaches. Who is Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson? You see, we can keep doing this all day long. It's like you just can't disqualify Bill Belichick because he had Tom Brady. Okay, that's Andy Reid's fault. He should have had a better quarterback than Donovan McNabb. Part of being a good head coach is being able to properly evaluate talent. And let's not act like Donovan McNabb was a bad quarterback. Like, Donovan McNabb was more than capable of being able to deliver a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. He wasn't no Tom Brady, but let's not act like Andy Reid didn't have great quarterback play out of Donovan McNabb. Was he a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback? No, but he was a good enough quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I witnessed Joe Flacco lead the Baltimore Ravens to a Super Bowl win. So if Joe Flacco can win the Super Bowl, so could a Donovan McNabb. Like, we have to give some criticism to Andy Reid for going to 3 straight NFC championship games and coming up short, plus losing in the Super Bowl. He had plenty of opportunities to win the big one and wasn't able to deliver. One thing about Bill Belichick is, like, Bill Belichick, outside of Tom Brady, he always has his team ready to play. And their preparation, the fact that they spend so much time paying attention to who is even going to be the referees for the game so they can adjust their practices to better being able to suit who's going to be refereeing those games. Like, those are small intricacies that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to Bill Belichick. One thing about Bill Belichick is that his teams were always going to be ready for the big games. And there were plenty of times during Andy Reid's career where his teams were not prepared for the big moments or they didn't get it done. Like, it's kind of a little bit unfair to say, who is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? Like, Tom Brady was important to Bill Belichick in the Patriots dynasty, but let's not act like Bill Belichick didn't have an impact at all. I mean, it's not like Tom Brady came into the league and he was already one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, Bill Belichick had to scout Tom Brady. He had to give Tom Brady some time to develop, and even then, it's not like Tom Brady hit the ground running. Tom Brady was a game manager for the first couple of years into his career. So prior to Tom Brady becoming what he was, for the first couple of years, you could say that Andy Reid had a way better quarterback than what Bill Belichick had. Like, you people just can't move the goalposts just because you want to make an argument for Bill Belichick post Brady. Like, if that's going to be the case, tell me how many great coaches do we have removing the great quarterbacks that they had. That's just what happens in this league. To win championships, you need good QBs. And for Andy Reid, he wasn't able to get the most out of Donovan McNabb when he had him. I mean, Andy Reid, he won games with Alex Smith, and they were coming up short in the postseason. Like, now we're going to move the goalposts again and say you need to have an all-time great quarterback to win the Super Bowl when there's been plenty of quarterbacks who won all-time great level who have won championships. We got to stop moving the goalposts to try to fulfill arguments that have holes in them. Now, tell me who's better, Bill Belichick with Tom Brady or Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes? I still would go Bill Belichick because of how good he was on the defense side of football. Like, going into that Super Bowl against the Los Angeles Rams, nobody expected that game to go the way that it did. Like, the LA Rams that season had one of the best offenses in recent memory. They were averaging nearly 30 points a game, and they went into that Super Bowl and only averaged 3. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, Andy Reid is the best offensive-minded coach of all time. Bill Belichick is the best defensive-minded head coach of all time. But the better overall head coach, I got to go with Bill Belichick. I'm not going to try to discredit Bill Belichick because he had Tom Brady. Like, you can't do that. Like, you got to give Bill Belichick credit for even finding Tom Brady. He was a 6th-round pick. Tom Brady was not expected to be much. And if you go back and you listen to the scouting reports on Tom Brady, many people didn't even think he was going to last in the league or even make a roster. So, like, you can't hold that against Bill Belichick just because he's been great at finding gems in the late round. Like, that's cheating. And I know Bill Belichick did a lot of it during his career, but everybody that's tried to bend the rules at least once in a while, you know what they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But I gotta go with Bill Belichick being better than Andy Reid, man. Like, you just can't disqualify Bill Belichick and take away what he accomplished when he had Brady. Oh, well, Andy Reid was better without a superstar quarterback. Like, stop moving the goalposts. There's been plenty of great head coaches who had great quarterback play. And if you were to say, okay, who's Sean Payton without Drew Brees, you're taking away one of the reasons why Sean Payton was so successful. Like, come on, man. That's cheating. What's Tom Coughlin without Eli Manning? I mean, we can do this all night long. You can't just discredit somebody for being able to find the right QB. That's Andy Reid's fault that he couldn't find a quarterback that was good enough to get the job done, even though Donovan McNabb was perfectly good enough to get it done. That's his fault. He should have found the next great quarterback earlier. So let me know who you guys have in this debate. Andy Reid or Bill Belichick, who do you think is better?